all you have to do is check out the European page and join the what do you call it? Join the Razer Arena qualifications, and you'll have a chance at being in the tournament, being broadcasted by me and Jackie, perhaps. That'd be pretty cool. It'd be techers, we'd make fun of you, or maybe you're a sick player, and we'd say how awesome you are. Either way, the Mongols will win the knife round here on Cash, the second map of this best of 3, so they'll be starting off on the CT side, Jackie, and that was a really long introduction, because, I mean, I didn't even let you say a word, mate. Like, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
That's the good thing about it, though. A really good interview. Introduction. What? Interview?
Hello, sir.
Self-interview.
Do you have any previous experience in retail? What makes you think you can get a job here at Jacko?
Well, have you ever watched... No, you haven't watched some of my casts, but have you ever watched me commentate with another commentator who was myself, just in a different voice? Have you ever heard that?
No,
I do sound like a psycho, but it is quite entertaining.
I mean,
I think it was called Bob.
The voice you've done there just kind of sounds like Red Eye with a cold.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic to kick off the round, to be honest.
Don't make us into his enemy. I'm afraid of the Red Eye. Please, I beg you. I remember I met him. Well, you know what? Stories aside, let's get back to the pistol round, which is being absolutely owned by the Mongols. Beautiful defensively, A site. That is just fantastic usage of the USP. You want to learn how to use a USP, you watch the Mongols play that round again and again and again and again. Headshots for days. Headshots for days. And your favorite phrase, Jackie, what is it? Knock their heads off.
I thought you meant big women, big money, big fun.
No.
That's my favorite phrase.
I meant knock their heads off, which I like saying a lot. Did you say that in CSGO? Is that something you'd normally say in CSGO? Be honest with me there. Come on, Jackie.
Big money, big women, big fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the after party after every CSGO event. That's
Talking
how we
about
celebrate.
B. Talking about B stuff. They are going to the B site with a 5-man push.
They are indeed, and they are able to crack it fairly effectively. NCL Moist from the back of the site now, though, coming in strong. He has lost his brethren, and that's riled him up enough to get a 3k spray down without MP7. Only going to be Slowthong as the last man standing as the Sugu came in without MP9 to get a bit of a cash builder going. Awkward confrontation, but he is able to come out on top with a USP to get the second round.
Not looking good at all. They've only killed one person the last 2 rounds, Zilkenberg. That's 2 very, very clean rounds for the Mongols. Third round now, full eco for NXL. There's not much that they can really do. Perhaps, if they're lucky, get the bomb planted. But it will be 3-0, most likely. The Mongols looking very strong right now. It could be a 2-0 best of 3 here, Jackie. It doesn't look too great for NXL.
Yeah, and for anyone that can't do maths, that means Mongols have taken the series. And that would be terrible for the NXL boys. Let's see if potentially they can bring it back here. Looks somewhere around, they are going for that fast A take of Ayla. 3 players actually going through door. The ones in main are getting ripped to shreds by Tsugo the Butcher, annihilating everyone. Cross Misty and Sis, the last 2 people standing, not in a fantastic position either. Sis dancing around by door there, will finally ball, and it's all on Cross Misty. With that MP9, won't even be allowed to fire a bullet before he's taken down by the Farmers of Machine Gun.
They actually went for a 4 spy that round. Not a good idea. They don't have money now. They can probably buy on 2 players, 3 players, but they've got 2 players who can't. That is just, I mean, you're losing. You lost the first 2 rounds. You were demolished on your 4 spy. Why are you 4 spying 2 times in a row? It's just not right. You want to save up so that you get all the utility and so that you can definitely win that 4th round, 100%, instead of just risking it on another 4 spy that's probably going to fail. So a big tactical mistake there by NXL. Wrong usage of 4 spies. They're going to be moving towards the A site once more. Nice idea here by the Mongols to go for the counter boost, sorry. And they'll probably end up actually, what's the word? Flanking the terrorists, because they're pretty unaware. They don't have anybody protecting their flank at the moment.
True, and that flank will come into play, but actually Rosie will be able to shut it down fairly effectively. Menace springing up on top of Upper there. Will be able to get 2 frags before he's finally taken down. 2 versus 3. Not a fantastic position for Zilkenberg that far away with the MP7, but he is making it work. Gets a fair few tags off. Tagging Sis all the way down to 3 HP. That Molotov should actually be able to send him off to the Burns Ward. Not going to matter though, it forced him out of position. He was able to take him down without M4, but now it's a 1 versus 2. Not a great spot for Zilkenberg to be in, but let's see what he can make out of this round of Ayla.
Yep, he's had no frags in the game so far. He's going to go for it though. It's a 1 versus 2. Takes down Roseo. This is pretty good. The bomb's been planted. With Forged now hiding at Squeaky. Will Zilkenberg go for it? He should. there's a pretty good chance that he could take this, but he's biding his time. Perhaps expecting Forged to go for the peak, but he's actually playing this correct right now. Just letting the bomb timer tick away, hiding behind the door, waiting for the Mongols to make the move, which is what is going to happen. He tries to go for the defuse. Is it going to be a fake defuse? No, he keeps it on, and Forge is going to pop out. He didn't even have many seconds after that to go for the defuse regardless, so not the right way to play it, and NXL will win their first round on their full buy. Now, interesting to note that flank didn't work properly, and the Mongols weren't able to hold the site properly as well. They almost won the round, but NXL, with a pretty bad buy, actually picking up the buy round, so there is hope yet, perhaps, for the Indonesians.
That is true, indeed. They've been able to break through the defenses of the Mongols this time, but let's see if they can do it again. Again, of course, Cash not being really too far in their favour, they won't have an ult, but the CTs will. Machine Gun, we saw how powerful he could be on Dash 2, and he's proven that once again, gets that opening frag that could be a big deal early on into the round. Pops down Soifong, to be quite effective if he can keep it up though, but it looks like the B site won't be blessed with any more Ts. They are going to be working their way towards that A bomb site. Menace there, he's got to try and hold them off at the backup of his teammate. Needs to try and get a couple of frags here, or at least just some information to alert his teammates that are so far away at the moment.
Yeah, indeed so. And look, again, they have to be careful. They have to have somebody holding the flank. They've given away a lot of map control. The Mongols know they're not going towards the B site, so they can actually defend the A site properly and flank at the same time. So this is very dangerous for NXL. They have to move fast. If you get the entry onto Roseo, there's a really nice boost up in here. Oh my goodness, Sogo with a fantastic double kill. Oh, he's going to make it a third as well. Absolutely wonderful. As they hold down the A site with precision, and Mongols will make it 4-1. NXL, no map control, no early map control. They're not playing the T side properly. They need to have somebody at the B site stopping the CTs from pushing forward, punishing them for getting some map information, and allowing the terrorists to have that, you know, aspect of surprise when they do decide which site they'll be going into. And for the people asking about the World Championships, yes, there is a World Championships this year, which will feature $150,000 prize pool. So we will be announcing that very soon. Jackie, what are your thoughts on NXL so far?
It is a struggle. They have proven that on, in particular rounds, they can actually bring the pain, but they can't quite follow it throughout. And it's unfortunate for them, of course, as well, with the Mongols being able to get those opening picks. That's what's really destabilised them as a team. And Machine Gun has been proving that, and he's doing it once again over at mid. They tried to go for that cheeky little mid-boost play, try and get out there and work their way up the short to at least do some damage on this Seiko, but it's not worked out for him at all.
And this man's a
ripped
beast.
apart by that orb. Yeah,
I mean,
he really is.
He's picked up probably more frags with USP than he has with the M4 this game. Really nicely done by Menace. And once more, the Mongols will pick up. Around 5-1 is the scoreline. NXL, they have to bring something from the bag right now. They can go for a full buy, albeit not the best one. They won't have very good utility on a couple of the players, but it should be perhaps good enough to pick them up around. I mean, they did win the buy round at the beginning. They've not really shown anything different. They've gone for exactly the same tactic every single round. I mean, they might actually confuse the Mongols like this. If they continually go to the 8 push, Mongols might be like, okay, they can't do this round. They must be doing something different. But this time around, they actually go for the standard split with one person holding the flank, one person over at Squeaky. This is pretty much how people normally play the T side of Cash before making their move.
But this is the thing. The peaks they've been going for, sort of the unnecessary faces where they've not really gone for sort of any explosive plays. So they do quite well. If they sort of bunch up, go for a more sort of Wolfpack style of CS and burst out together, they're usually quite effective. But they've been going for sort of solo peaks where they're really overextending, going for shots that they're not really going to hit 9 times out of 10. And Machine Gun's been capitalising on that. A lot of the rounds that they've lost so far have been really off the back of someone getting that huge opening pick on the board, and then NXL just sort of panic. They fall apart. But this time around, things are a little bit different. They're able to get the opening frag onto Menace over on that A-bomb site. If they do push out, they still have 2 angles to deal with. Tsugo and Zilkenberg are going to be there, and the bomb is creeping its way through main. Well, actually, Zilkenberg will fall off back towards mid.
I love the way they've just responded to them losing the player on the A site by actually going towards mid to make sure that they don't have players pushing in from there at the same time. They don't have the information, so they've got their players split up. They know that the B site's harder to retake. That's why they've left 2 men there. And they know that the A site is easier to retake, so they're actually holding relatively passive positions with the 2 players there. And 2 players is actually more than enough sometimes to hold the A site. It is going to be a push here by the remaining 5 players of Team NXL. Not a lot of health left on a couple of them, but they will find yet another entry frag. Zilkenberg, he tries to be a hero, pushing through the smoke, but will not find any kills for his troubles. And it's just Machine Gun and NCL remaining. So I think in this situation, they probably should try and save the weapons and live to fight another day.
They are actually going to do a little bit of damage, and actually, NXL, they're getting a little bit aggressive. Potentially could be able to get another 3 frags here. Just a little bit of economic damage. It wouldn't be anything to sniff at. A little bit awkward. Is able to bounce around like a madman, but it's not going to work out too well from SYS. We'll take him down. A machine gun will hold on to that ever-important AWP.
Machine gun. It's an interesting choice of name for a person who plays with an AWP.
I said this, you know, it would have made more sense
Did
if his name
you?
was Sniper Rifle. Well, it was before, but, you know,
When?
not when we'd been casting. When me and Milosh were casting, I think it was, me and Neil.
Milosh?
Yeah. Milosh. Yeah, Milosh.
What do you call him, Milosh?
That's his name.
Oh, Milosh! Gasson. Gasson.
Yeah.
I call him Gasson.
Call him
Milosh. Why is he called Milosh? He's not a Milosh, he's brown.
I don't know, man. That's just...
I'm going to make fun of him for that. I call him Gasson, because that's his name. Gasson the King, or something like that. Maybe that's his Twitter handle.
That's Milosh the medic.
So
That's
you're
his Twitter.
saying that, you know, I just repeated something that you said? I feel like I'm not so original anymore.
I
I thought creativity and originality were one of
it's
my
hard.
hallmarks.
I am quite a great guy, so I mean, attempting to sort of, you know, even have 15% of sort of the comedy banter I bring to the tables, it's hard, and I can accept that, and I forgive you, because you're smart, and you're loyal. Alright?
Jinx. You can't speak for the rest of the stream. Actually, no, you know what? That wouldn't be very smart. I unjinx you, you can talk.
That'd be a bit of a struggle, wouldn't it, really?
You know what? NXL have played like the standard T side now, and they're holding their angles. And look, they've picked up a frag at Squeaky, picked up a frag at Hole, because the Mongols are being a bit too aggressive. Not bad. They had the 2-man advantage. Sis, for some reason, pushing forward on his own, trying to get main control, got shot down by Menace, who now has the AWP. And it seems like NXL will be going for an A push right now, which is probably the best decision they can make at the moment, as it is a 2-man stack on the B side. So NXL looking to make it 5-3, and that wouldn't be a bad score at all. It really looked a lot more one-sided at the beginning of this game.
Did indeed, but potentially Menace with the AWP in his hands could be an absolute menace as they begin to push out. There's the first frag. That's absolutely huge. That's going to buy his teammates enough time to rotate over, but can he do more? And Seolmeister sprays down Rozu. Forge gets dropped by that AWP, and now it's all on Soifeng. No HP on him at all. He's just going to have to scurry away, really.
Yep. He was dropped. Do you say that? Do you say dropped as in like suplex or like rock bottom dropped, or do you say it like Americans say drop, like, you know, like he got a frag? I want to know, because it will determine my view of you as a person, because either you are trying to speak an American accent, which is deplorable and unacceptable, or you're already a southerner, that makes it 10 times worse, or you're a comedic genius by tying in the WWE stuff. So you tell me.
Dropped.
No pressure.
I think that's more of a southern thing. Like, you know, when you're in school and it's just be like, yeah, I just dropped him. Like, that's where that's coming from.
Oh, you know what? My distaste for Londoners is increasing by the day.
Sorry.
You're not making it any better. You've not had fish. I don't even like fish, but I've had fish.
Well,
And Menace is hunting for fish through that smoke. 2 frags with the help of Togo. Not looking good here on this eco round for NXL. I mean, they're just going to go to their depths. They're very happy to jump in front of the bullets of the Mongols. Now, I was going to... You know what? Earlier this round, I was thinking of a really smart Great Wall of China. Kind of, you know... what are they called when you bring up something and it's a joke and it's smart at the same time? I don't really know the word for it.
I know what you mean. Hang on, give me a second. An anecdote.
Not really anecdote.
No, it is an
Give you a
anecdote.
second.
Hang
No,
on.
it's not. An anecdote is a way.
No, because if I went this one time, I met the Queen
You know
and
what,
she
we're on the
waved at me.
internet, we're on the
That's an
internet.
anecdote. That's
We're on the
an
internet,
anecdote.
mate.
That's a funny anecdote.
I refuse.
Go on then,
Sure,
have a
I'm
Google.
using our
Have a
interesting
Google, bud.
story. Anecdote is a story. It's not an example.
Well, you didn't say that. You said a story. You've goofed me. You've just goofed
Did I
yourself.
say story? Did I
You
say
said
story?
story. Yeah.
Guys, did I say story? People in the chat. Human beings. Did I say story? Because I don't think I said story.
You need to stop goofing me. All right.
If I did, then I apologize, but that's not what I meant. Either way, I was going to say something about the Great Wall of China, but the Mongols are on the CT side, not the T side, so, you know, it won't work. It really won't work. Next time. By the way, big up Mongolian viewers. We have a lot of them. I just realized that we have like 7% of our viewers in Mongolia, so big up. Teach me some Mongolian words. Let's hear about them. Oh my goodness, what's happening over at mid? Sis and Soifeng just jumping over. finding themselves a frag each, taking on both Machine Gun and Menace. But look at this, NCL in a good position to stop them as they pop down from the vents. And he's going to pick up 2 in return. Quick revenge. Not the best tasting revenge, as they say. It's a dish best served cold. So after a while, not hot. Either way, doesn't matter, because it might allow them to win this round. NXL, though, in a pretty precarious position. 7-2 would probably be 8-2 and 9-2, since their money would be pretty bad as well. But they need this round. And in a 2 versus 2 with the control of the A site, there's a possibility, Jackie, that they can win this. If Frost Misty would stop jumping around and climbing like a monkey.
But they're able to secure that A main plant. Fall back into those soft plant positions. Zilkenberg with the AWP in his hands. NCL Meister fairly low. Not a fantastic spot to be in, but if they can get that opening frag, all is not lost. It just depends on if the T's going to be a bit overzealous and actually go for those peaks. We've seen them go for a few too many times. This, he's looking edgy there, creeping around. He wants to go for the wide face. If he does, it won't be the smartest play, but it's not going to matter as Frost Misty springs out from the outbox, gets the opener. This playing it perfectly, waiting until the time is right to pop out, take down Zilkenberg, and get that round on the board.
I mean, look, that was great positioning, but only because they both came from that. They both came from short and what do you call it? Truck. If they came from main, squeaky would have been game over. They're just lucky, to be honest. It wasn't really the best setup, but sometimes you just have to put all your chips in one slot. And I'll pretend that I actually know what I'm talking about because I don't play poker or roulette or whatever that phrase comes from. Oh my god! Did you see that by NCL? He doesn't care if you've got an op. They don't want you to take down ops with an M4 at that distance. Key to success: have amazing aim like NCL. That's the man advantage already for the Mongols. And they're losing map control here.
That is true. They've been able to push them back fairly far. They're right now just trapped in T-spawn. Not a lot they can do. You know, if they were chickens, they would not be free-range chickens right now. But Rosie, unfortunately, that takes down his own teammate, attempting to get the frag onto NCL Meister. Was able to follow it up and get the frag, but it's not a fantastic spot to be in now. They'll just sit inside, outside of main. And this getting a little bit aggressive with that CZ. Could potentially find the frag, and he is going to be able to. Guttles away now, though.
I mean, right now, NXL, they can't deal with the Mongols' aim. It's just a matter of, like, we are holding our positions, we're holding the default, so they're pushing forward, and they're out aiming us. They're literally playing... The CTs are playing the T side at the moment, and it allows NXL some room to get the bomb planted, but Sis on his own in a 1 versus 2, knows exactly where he is. He pops out in front of Machine Gun's machine gun. Well, not really. It's more of an automatic rifle. And they will lose that round. So 8-4, 8-3 will be the scoreline. And money is not looking good for NXL at all. At least they got the bomb planted, so that's an extra $800. Machine Gun, I don't know. He's called the Machine Gun. Maybe he's having trouble pressing the key. You know what? I had a joke in my mind and I forgot it, so I'm gonna stop there before I make it even worse, Jackie. I don't want to make it worse, Jackie.
He was. I'm gonna come in.
No, don't do it. You can't. You cannot.
He was actually doing that just to buy them enough time to pick up the AWP. That's what I was gonna do, just to make you feel even worse. Oh,
you're gonna actually speak about the tactical side of things.
Yeah,
okay.
Just to make you feel even worse. Now people are gonna be like, "What a fool!"
That's fine.
What a fool.
No, I accept it. I was trying to make a joke out of it. So if you talk about the technical side of things, it's just balance. Fast B push coming in from NXL this round with a full eco, and that flash is going to render them quite blind. NCL needs to find heads. He's got support from Zilkenberg, who is playing with an AWP. Oh my god, some sublime shots there from the German named Mongolian.
Pretty crisp coming out there. Beautiful shots. Crisp. Did you know that can't spell war without AR? Fun fact. And there's a lot of ARs in play right now. But let's see
I didn't get that. Go on.
If this
automatic rifles, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
It's pretty. That was a pretty weak one, bro. Sorry to say.
Well, how dare you?
You know what's weaker? NXL's T side. You see, I always flip back. I'm good. I'm getting better. You know what? It's not my style, but I am starting to banter a lot more. I've never had a good bantering partner. That's the thing, Jack.
You know, that's an issue, and that's why you've brought me in. That's what I do best. But Zinkelberg, he utilises the AWP best, and he's been able to shut down Soifeng. Forge comes in with one as well into NCL. Frost Misty finally has built up enough courage to pop his way out of door, and he is in a prime time position to go absolutely massive here on the flank. This is going to be brutal. Sprays down one, gets the first frag onto Machine Gun, but he can't quite get the follow-ups. He's not in a fantastic spot now. They've been able to deal with it, but actually Tsugu popping out, he's been able to take him down, and now it's just Zinkelberg and Menace, the last two standing, not in a great spot to be able to do anything now.
5 rounds by NXL would be great. Really, really good. 6 would be fantastic. I don't find that very realistic. At least they'll make it 9-4. At the end of the day, Jackie, I mean, how many rounds do you really expect to get on the T side? If you're playing pretty balanced teams at about the same level, it's about 5 to 6. I mean, you don't really get much more than that these days. So it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad at all.
That's true as well, and especially sort of... We've seen Mongols right now coming off the back of a very dominant Dust 2 win. They looked very drilled, you know, everything was on point. And we saw just how crisp their aim was overall compared to sort of NCL. It's a good word, alright? You know, it can be used in a lot of different phrases and sentences, and it means many things. So, crisp is a great word. How dare you?
I'm not saying anything. It is a great word. I'm not
It's
saying
fantastic.
anything. It is a fantastic word, Jackie.
Absolutely
Really,
sensational.
really good word. Sensational word. Are you making fun of me there? Are you trying to make fun of me?
Hey, sensational is a hotspot, I think. That's what that is.
Yeah, it's true. It is Tosspot's thing. Fast A push coming in from the terrorists. It's one final last hurrah in the penultimate round of the first half, and the bomb's already down. Machine Gun taking down Forge. Tuggo with another. Machine Gun getting his second, and already the terrorists are down to just 2 men. It doesn't seem likely they'll be able to do much. And Menace is just firing through the smoke, hoping for bullets to land, and they will as Revere goes down. Sis will not be able to do much in that 1 versus 3. Mongols make it 10-4. That stubborn A push just did not work, and it seemed like the Mongols' luck was on their side. Firing through the smoke, landing loads of shots, taking out the majority of the players without even actually seeing them. So, a bit unlucky by NXL. Again, they're not using their utility properly, they're not finding the entries, and they're not as coordinated. And it's the final round of the first half. They don't even have much to play with, so it's a bit of a waste. Could have been a 9-6 half.
They're not in for a good one at this point either, of course, as you're saying. Nothing really to work with. Soifeng with a scout potentially could do some damage with it. 2 Tech 9s, they're not going to be fantastic. The Galil on Sis as well, and the fact he's already taken a bit of a dent into his face early on into the round. Looks like he will actually be taken down over towards that B bomb site. Would imagine Soifeng would have got picked off there, but he was able to get away. Possibly he finally gets dropped as well. Rosu getting taken down, and across the board, it's just a clean sweep for the CTs right now. They're just knocking everyone out, blow for blow, coming in nice and strong. Sits the last man standing at mid, is able to get 1 frag, but it's not really going to be enough in a situation like this. Tries to get through Vent, doing his best Bruce Willis impression, but not today. Tsugu, he hates Die Hard, so he's killed him.
That is a very, very terrifying first half there by the Mongols. They're looking like their ancestors. Seems like they can perhaps take over the world, at least Asia when it comes to CS. So really, really nicely done there by the Mongols. Guys, remember, there's an M4A1 Cyrex giveaway. All you have to do is follow our channel here on azuba.tv/efragtv. You can also follow our different other languages. We've got efrag Russian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, all of the shebang. Go check it out. And remember that you should follow us on our social media and to check out risingstars.e-frag.net for all information about these tournaments, prize pools, what we've got planned for the future. Make sure to check it out. However, we are back with the second half of the Mongols starting off on the T side, and this time they've got something a bit different. They're actually going to go for a bit of a split here with 2 players coming in from mid and 2 from Squeaky with 1 from main. This is not very good here for the NXL guys, but Sis with a pretty sublime shot onto NCL. Nice start. Can he land another? He won't be able to, and giving away mid allows Machine Gun to reduce the distance between him and that USB and take him out, and he's going to get yet another frag. Machine Gun finding frags left, right, and center. Razio comes to help, though, and it's just Zilkenberg in a 1 versus 2.
Fantastic spot to be in. The CT's pushing up from either side. He will tap away, lands the first headshot onto Rosu though, and now it's just a 1 versus 1. That's awkward, going for the bounce. In case of the spring legs comes out, but he is able to finally get the final blow into Frost Misty there, takes him down. It looked like it could have been the round towards NXL at that point, but somehow he was able to bring it back.
That was so close. That was really painful to watch. You know, when pistols don't actually hit the head, it literally takes an hour to kill each other. But the Mongols will take the pistol round. NXL had an opportunity, but you know that mid-push machine gun going up short, nobody getting... Right next to him, Sogo saves his life, taking down Roseo, and this is not looking good here for NXL. They're getting absolutely demolished. It seems like it's going to be a very fast best of three.
It does indeed. Not a lot they can really do at this point. Sis and Frost Misty just trying to complement each other's angles here, playing a bit of a crossfire. It will work out. They're going to be able to get that Mark 10, the Biggie Smalls gun, but can they do some damage with it? Really, in a 1 versus 4, bomb already down on that B bomb site. It's not going to be that much they can achieve. Frost Misty gets dropped. It's all on Sis, holding a nice angle, but his head will get sprayed down. Absolutely obliterated there by Tsugo.
Not looking good. 13-4 is the scoreline. NXL having to go for an eco now. They will be able to go for a full buy on the 4th round, where they can perhaps resist the Mongolian attack. And right now, they do need a bit of a Great Wall of China to stop this furious terrorist side from the Mongolians, who are playing very solid. I want to see the Mongolians in the World Championships. I think they're going to have one of the stronger sides in Asia. I really do. I think they had a problem with internet or something. Or maybe they didn't have a team during the last World Championships. I really can't remember. Or I think they applied a bit too late. I'm not too sure. Either way, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And it seems like it should be another run-of-the-mill anti-eco round by the Mongolians. And Jackie, have you got any last words for the Indonesians?
It's just been a bit of a struggle for them, really. I mean, a lot of it's come down to sort of the style of play we've seen tactically from them has just been a little bit off, and you sort of see what I mean more so on their CT sides. Ideally, overall, everything's always been a little bit off. We haven't been able to witness it too much on Cash, but on Dust 2 it was still proven even then. Crossfires that they hold aren't really that effective. They don't really play angles that complement each other. It just seems like overall they're just inexperienced as a team. They just sort of... It's more comes down to their individual performance. If they're all performing really well individually, they have barrels of impact frags attached to them, they can do some damage, but it just looks off when it comes to that sort of one-to-one sort of tactical base level. There's just slight things that really need to be rehashed, re-improved, and then they'd be fine. But it's the fact, obviously, they probably haven't had enough time, or they haven't trained long enough on these certain things, and communication just seems off.
Yeah, Mongols really looking like one of the stronger sides of this tournament. The strongest side. I think we missed out on seeing how Tyloo would play, and we also missed out on seeing how CyberZen would play. I think CyberZen were having that. We're doing that whole, oh, we're going to hide our strats for IEM, for Intel Extreme Masters, because if they do qualify, they have a chance at going to the majors. For that reason, perhaps we didn't see the strongest CyberZen against NXL. Either way, that was a very, very easy A-site defense from NXL. Perhaps there is hope yet, albeit too late. Double op setup from Team NXL, Forged and Soifram. And I'm assuming that one's going to be in the A and the other will be at the B site. We'll see what they'll do with it.
He's just playing more of a slow default at this point in time. Now I've actually been given fairly extensive mid-control, machine gun working its way up. Should be able to get a bit of an opener, unfortunately isn't able to. Sis shuts him down with that AK-47. Not going to be too great, but it's good for NXL being able to get that first opener on the board and maybe find their footing this time around. The short smoke goes out, there's the flash to allow NCL Mice to potentially do some damage. He's going to blind the CTs, but he won't be trying his luck with it too much.
I think they're just going to be minimizing the damage caused by this scoreline and perhaps making it look a bit better on the score sheets, but I find it very doubtful that NXL will be able to do much to change the destiny of this best of three. It will be a 2-0, I'm sure about it, but a final hurrah wouldn't be too bad either, and perhaps I'm very wrong, as I've been before, Jackie, and it's a massive comeback.
Indeed. That is still a possibility.
You know what? You were just, mate, you were just tweeting. You did not listen to what I just said.
I did. I just...
Oh, what did I say then? Go on then.
You just said, right there. You said, potentially, you could be wrong, and the NCL could actually come back from this, but you're not sure. And then you threw it to me, and I thought, I'll have an awkward pause before I say indeed.
It was a conscious decision. I'll have an awkward pause.
I'll have a nice awkward pause now.
That's what makes you Jackie.
That is indeed.
That ingenuity, being able to decide when to have awkward pauses.
There's only one, and, you know, that's why they call me the Jackie, but that's why they call that a HE, because he's been blown out of the server completely. It's all on Zinkelberg now, on the site. He's trying to use that PC-50 to the best of his advantage, but he couldn't slay anyone today. He will be taken down. Unfortunate stuff for him there, but of course, not a lot to play with in that round. They're not going to be too bothered. Now they'll be able to grab those AKs once again.
Yeah, NXL have a lot of money in the bank. They've got those 2 AWPs, they've got all the utility, and now they just have to play a very solid CT side. One thing to note, though, is Frost Misty picking up 21 kills, and Soifeng just with 3. 3 frags in 21 rounds. Not good at all. Not acceptable from the Indonesian player, especially since he is the main AWPer for his side. But perhaps those 3 frags made an impact, because as soon as they picked up the double AWP, they've been doing pretty good. Oh my goodness, Machine Gun finding the entry onto Forged. Mid, even though he was peeking him with an AWP, absolutely unacceptable. Now, Sis will get the return frag, and with those smokes down, it's slowed down that Mongols push. I mean, the smokes were for their advantage for a moment. Now it's actually pinned them down, as the CTs do have the peekers advantage at mid at the moment. And we'll be moving towards the A site, it seems.
Yeah, no, potentially there is a massive crack. They can do some damage on that A site if they do actually go for the push out. This will come over to attempt to back up his teammate as best as possible. Right now the smoke's just going out. He's utilising one of his own smokes to try and block off short, so he can't potentially get flanked from the mid-tees that he was aware of. This is a nice smoke play though, just biding his time, waiting, and that smoke strikes out like a snake to get the first frag, but he is finally taken down. Coming over from Chuck though, Soifeng utilising that ult perfectly, does get the first opening.
Our indignation of his poor play and shot 2 sublime shots with the AWP. 14-8 is the scoreline. NXL still holding on so far. It's just 2 mistakes, and they've lost all chance of a redemption. And the Mongols, they just want to end this as fast as possible, get their $2,000 and be crowned the kings of the rising stars of South Asia. Forged with a beautiful shot onto NCL, just as they're peeking. And he's able to find the target. Sogo pushing forward towards CT spawn. They have to be careful with the CTs because he's popping from behind. It could be a very good flank. Picks up the AWP, and there's a person in front of him. He's missing his shots there. Sis gets an A kill on Zilkenberg. And oh my god, Soifeng actually runs away from him. And Sis will save his life. I don't know what happened there. It was like a game of musical chairs. They were literally rotating around each other. Jackie, what happened? Why were they all dead? It looked like they were actually in a pretty dangerous situation for a moment when they got onto the B site.
Right now, sort of Mongols basically are just going for more sort of BM style play. They're aware that they've got so many rounds to play with, and they've just been going really overly aggressive. And it's, I don't know, it's very different to sort of what we've seen beforehand with their T side. So I imagine at this sort of point in time, they're going to clock on, realise that, and go back into more sort of effective play. Take it slower a bit, because as you said, it looks like they just want to win out. They're not too bothered at this point, but you can't really play that style, because NXL by no means are a bad team. It's just Mongols have been really bringing their A game today and are slightly better in terms of things. But if you try and, you know, underwhelm your opponent, that's where you're going to get taken down. And Frost Misty trying to prove that. Pops through his smokes into CT main, gets the first frag, but he will be traded out by Menace. They do have a bit of an advantage going on right now, though. It's not too bad for the CTs. Do go flying through the air, attempting to get that frag, but he can't do anything. Menace goes down as well. And this is really big stuff from NXL. And this is the thing, that sort of level of, you know, becoming complacent at this point on the Mongol side, sort of wanting to just win the game out fast. That's costing them. And NXL are coming back. They've proven that they're a strong side on cash. They've got a ridiculous amount of economy to work with now, and they're coming back in terms of rounds. They could potentially take this map if they carry on with this sort of style of play we're seeing from Mongols.
Yeah, I mean, their T side showed nothing to prove that they had the ability to come back. But what a solid CT side from NXL, showing a lot of character, hanging on, even though there were so many rounds behind. And now they're only 4 rounds away from the Mongols, while them not being in a very good economic situation. They are having a tactical pause. Very dangerous moment now for NXL. This tactical pause could change absolutely everything. And it's really well timed as well. It can take away the momentum from NXL and stop them from having any chance of coming back and taking this on to a 3rd map I wonder what the Mongols will be thinking about right now. So far, not a lot that they've done has worked out for them. You can see Machine Gun, top fragger for his side. 22 frags and 14 deaths. 20 onto Menace. Well, we do see a more equal spread now from the NXL players. I mean, it was Frost Misty. Now you see Sis picking up frags, Roseo and Forged as well. Soifong picking up those 2 that we saw, but still only on 5 frags. The Mongols now probably are, if I was them, honestly, I would eco, wait to get an AWP and absolute full utility and do a proper round. But they can get a very good buy with this round as well. They can get 3 utility players and 2 AK-47s, or like all of them can have AKs. So it's up to them, really. It's up to what they decide. And Jackie, I mean, if you were the tactician, if you're Mongolian, you kind of look like one. If you're a Mongolian, what would you... Oh, he's gone. He got to...
I mean...
You didn't like what I said, did you? You just disappeared.
That's all right. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I felt like you were still going. I felt like you were still going. I was waiting.
I was going to just say, what would you do on the Mongolian side?
I mean, potentially I would have sort of agreed with what you're saying at that point. You sort of wait out a little bit more, get the extra bit of bank, you know, go for the big spend and then come in strong with that. But we've seen them attempt to play that sort of style and it still wasn't really working out for them even when they had these rifles on board. So maybe if they go back to their older sort of style, very aggressive wolf pack, burst out as a 5. That's where we see Mongols excel so much. They go out as a 5, flash each other out, good teamwork, good communication. They're able to rip heads off with just, you know, when the odds are really stacked against them. And right now with the Tech 9s in hand, potentially if they do go for that sort of style, we could see them do some damage. They have really strong aimers and we know they can get into those sites in that terms of things, but they were going for overfaces. We saw that far too many times on that T side. They've been able to secure a site and then they throw the round just by going for these, you know, over-eccentric faces they have no reason to go for, just out of that sort of style. So if they take back to what we sort of saw earlier, they'll be able to find 7 foot. Right now, bursting out onto the side, Zinkelberg gets the first frag. Tsugo slays Frost Misty with that CZ as well. Only 3 CTs left standing and they're fairly far away.
The Mongol Horde makes its move on towards the A site, and with a Tech 9 armor buy, they will be able to take control and get the bomb planted. It's all or nothing here for NXL. They have to go for it. There's Molotov on the deep side of the map, of the site, sorry. With the smoke down, they're unable to go in from the narrower corner, and it's very, very difficult for them to do anything. Menace twisting around from that exact corner with the Tech 9 and picking up 2 easy frags. 15-10 is the scoreline, and that tactical pause, it did it for the Mongols. It gave them that time to recollect, to sit down, to think about what to do next. And I mean, they didn't even go for a full buy. They went for the Force, for the Tech 9s, and the Tech 9 push towards the A side can be pretty damn brutal. NXL now, all they can do is hope that they can win the next 5 rounds and take it on to overtime. But they're kind of the space that they have has been greatly reduced, especially losing 2 players in the first couple of seconds of that round.
It's not a fantastic
Really, really nice.